You're watching Nevada Business Chronicles. Take a journey with us to see the innovative businesses that put Nevada on the business map. Connecting you with the businesses, events, and organizations that bring innovation and prosperity to the Nevada area, please welcome your host, Mitch Burney. There's a whole new crop of businesses sprouting up in northern Nevada, and we're at one of them today. We're at Born Hydroponics, specializing in organic and hydroponics. What could be better than fruits, vegetables, and herbs year-round? Let's go inside and meet the owners, Mark and Shelley Willison.
Hello, welcome
Mark.
to Born Hydroponics.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me here, Shelley.
Nice to see you.
Welcome to our show.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Mitch.
A question you probably get all the time.
Sure.
How did Born Hydroponics get its roots?
Well, it's kind of an interesting story, actually. My parents own a company called Have Lights Will Travel that I've worked at since I was a little kid. And as a hobby, I've always been into hydroponics. It was fascinating because over the years, as the popularity of hydroponics increased, we started getting a lot of phone calls for replacement grow bulbs and things like that come from the hydroponics industry. Unfortunately, we weren't allowed to purchase, even though we buy a lot of stuff from the companies in that industry, we weren't allowed to purchase grow lights because our Have Lights Will Travel is an electrical company and not a gardening supply store. Turns out that my mom she's got a green thumb, and I kind of inherited that from her, and so we got to talking and we decided, you know, if we want to access these products, we need to really have a whole new entity and a whole new store, and so that's kind of how Born Hydroponics came about. We decided to take the plunge and move into the old Have Lights Will Travel building and start a new venture here.
Well, what a wonderful addition is to our community. Mark, I think one of the most common questions you might get asked is, what's the difference between organics and hydroponics?
Well, that's a great question, Mitch. I've actually got a greenhouse outside that we've got organics and hydroponics both growing side by side. Why don't we go take a look? Good
idea. Let's do that.
All right. Well, Mitch, this is an example of one of the greenhouses that we have on display. Just one of the many sizes and shapes that it's available in. One of the cool things is I know that when we built this kit, it was a little bit challenging, so one of the services we offer is full on-site installation for any of the customers that want to just set it and forget it and have it all done for them. We offer that service. Having a greenhouse material that can stand up to the elements here in Nevada is really important. And this particular material is called Solex. It's got it's actually a double-walled plastic panel. So in between there's an air gap that creates an insulation effect that's really nice in the wintertime. It helps keep the plants warmer and helps the greenhouse maintain its temperature. But also in the summertime, it helps cut down that direct light and keep your plants from burning and keep the greenhouse somewhat cool.
Now, I understand that there are times of the year that you actually might want to actually have no light on the top of one of these.
Indeed. If you're growing any kind of a flowering plant, having a blackout, what they call a light deprivation, blackout shade, is really important to force plants like tomatoes into flowering so that they produce fruit even when it's not fruit producing season.
Well, let's take a look inside.
Come on in, check it out. Here, let me grab one of these. You got to try this. These are just wonderful. Isn't that good?
My God. That is nothing like you would buy in a store.
Oh no, because it's fresh right now. It's, in the store they have to harvest the tomatoes when they're green so they can be shipped over the hill and get here, and then they spray them with a chemical to make them turn red.
Vine ripened. So extraordinary.
Yeah, there's nothing like homegrown.
Now, Mark, you have quite a diverse array of different things going on in here. So why don't you share with us a little bit about the different growing types that are happening here?
Absolutely, Mitch. What we've got here is we got some strawberries. These are in little fabric grow bags. They're really nice because they breathe all around the root zone and encourage nice, healthy, happy roots. Here we have a bell pepper, and over here we have a blackberry plant. And all of these are sitting on this special fabric wick mat. And what this does is it allows us to put our plants right on the mat, and then we just take a little jug of water here with a little pinhole. You can see the water draining, and we just set that right on the mat, and that keeps the mat nice and moist and allows the plant to take up the water and the nutrients as needed so that they're never overwatered or never underwatered, which is one of the biggest challenges people have when they're growing in soil.
And that creates stress on a plant as well that this avoids.
And it's really important too, because anytime you have stresses on a plant, it leaves the plant susceptible to pests and diseases. And So anything you can do to help minimize that is really important in growing.
Tell me about this tower in the back here.
The tower is it's called the tower garden, and we've got a bunch of strawberry plants in here. And what it does is it's actually got a little water reservoir, and there's a pump that takes the water and it pumps it all the way to the top of the column here, and then it rains down and trickles down to each of these little plant sites. What makes it hydroponic is because there's no dirt. So all of the nutrients and all the minerals are actually dissolved right in the water, and as the water cascades down over the roots of the plant can take that nutrition right out of the water and absorb it directly. Hydroponics, one of the advantages is that it grows bigger and faster and has more yield than the same square footage of space with dirt. Lots of hydroponics growers, the reason they're growing hydroponically is because you can grow so much in such a small space.
Now over here I can see you have a variety of different tomato plants, but there's also different systems going on. Describe what's happening here.
Yeah, we've got a couple different systems. We've got 2 hydroponics over here and 1 more hydroponics system over here. And so all of the water and all the nutrients are fed right through the water reservoirs. And then this one here is just regular soil in a special container that allows it to have extra oxygen to the root zone and allows it to breathe. And so we've got black cherry tomatoes over here, and we have beefsteak tomatoes on this side.
These are tomato trees, Mark. Let's be honest.
You know, I gotta say, when it hit the top of the greenhouse, I was like, well, what are we gonna do with it now? And it just, what can you say? It just keeps on growing.
Well, this one is a hybrid unit, so let's talk a little bit about the hybrid, which is kind of a combination between the two.
Yeah, what we've got here is, I wanted to see what the limits of organics were in this type of a system. So what we've done is we put all the fertilizer right in the container here, and this one's actually getting fed in the water reservoir. It's just straight water. So all the plant growth up here, all the nutrition is coming from inside the container. And you can see that these special hybrid containers that we carry allow the roots to go crazy, and they'll grow right up to the surface on the top and be able to access all the fertilizer that's in this container to grow these huge trees of tomatoes.
Well, Mark, you also carry a warehouse full of supplies for these. So would you show us through there too?
Yeah, you bet. Let's take a walk into the warehouse.
Mark, this looks like fun. I can only imagine the different things you can grow on this grow table.
Oh, Mitch, this thing is amazing. In just this little 4-foot square space here, you could grow up to 20, even 30 different types of plants. We have a little water reservoir that holds our nutrient solution. The water gets pumped up onto the table and into the plants, and then it drains right back down through the drain hole here and goes right back into the reservoir. So it makes it really easy. Everything is automated and on a timer, so you don't have to worry about overwatering or underwatering or anything like that. It's essentially kind of set it and forget it. But it's really neat because it's high tech. Kids love it. That's kind of why I got into hydroponics, because it was like, hey, my mom gave me this green thumb that that I grew up with, and I love plants, but being able to mix it in with a little bit of technology, because I'm a tech geek, was right up my alley. So I think a lot of kids are going to have a lot of fun. You can make this like a family thing and not only teach your kids about the benefits of eating healthy and growing their own food and local food production, but it's got all the little MacGyver technology kind of things that are going to make it really fun for the kids as well.
What a great way to spend some time with your family as well.
Absolutely.
Well, let's take a look at some of the other items you have in here.
You bet. Over here we've got a variety of different pots and containers in all shapes and sizes, round ones, square ones, for all kinds of different purposes. On this rack here we have the grow bags like we had the strawberries in out in the greenhouse, and they're really neat because, well, you take one of these ones right here, you just pop it open and fill it with dirt. And because it's a fabric bag, it not only allows the water to drain out, but it allows the oxygen to breathe into the root zone, which really kind of supercharges the plant growth.
So you would put soil in a plant in here and then toss it on the grow table?
Yeah, absolutely. You can put soil in here, you can put clay pebbles and grow rocks, you can put cocoa coir, perlite, gravel. There's a million different ways and different mediums you can use to grow hydroponically, but these bags make it super simple. You can put it on a table or put it on the ground, or They're very, very versatile.
Now, Mark, over here you have all of the support materials necessary for these grow bags and grow systems.
Absolutely, Mitch. We've got all kinds of different soils and potting mixes for the grow bags, as well as the clay pebbles and perlite, things like that for the hydroponic systems. In addition, we've got an entire supply of grow lights and fixtures, all the ballasts, fans, cooling equipment, air conditioners, dehumidifiers, pretty much anything that you could need to make your grow room absolutely the perfect climate for the plants.
And right here and in stock.
Right here in stock, absolutely.
In addition to that, Mark, you also have a showroom full of the other support chemicals and fertilizers. So let's take a look at those as well.
Yeah, we got all the nutrients and some other LED grow lights on display in the shop here. So
well, let's take a look there.
Okay, sounds good.
Mark, standing under this light, I feel like I'm growing.
Man, Mitch, these new LED lights are amazing. I mean, they're getting so close to being able to reproduce the full spectrum of the sun and at intensities that the sun is at. Put this in a room indoors and plants just go crazy.
How does it compare to the sun?
Well, that's a great question. Let me show you. I've got a little micromole meter here. What this measures is the photosynthetic radiation that the plants can actually use. So not all of the spectrum of the sun the plants can utilize for growing. So with these LEDs, what they've done is they've taken chips that are the specific wavelengths that the plant can use for photosynthesis. So it's not wasting any electricity on spectrums that the plant can't use.
Wow.
This meter measures just what the plant can see. So let me show you on the meter here. We can actually get all the way up to, gosh, over 2,000 micromoles with this fixture. It's just amazing. And for reference, why don't we step outside and I'll show you what this meter shows the sun, in full sunlight, how close this light actually comes.
Well, let's do that.
All right.
Mark, I'm actually blown away. This is almost identical to the readings that we were getting under the LED lighting.
Isn't that impressive? Yeah, we're pulling just over 2,000 micromoles here, which is just almost exactly what we were getting on that LED fixture.
But the sun isn't 12 months out of the year, so this really gives you the ability to grow year-round.
And never have a cloudy day.
That's fantastic.
Yep, I'm really excited where LED technology is taking the indoor growing industry. It's quite amazing.
Mark, let's not skirt one of the most common uses for hydroponics, other than fruits and vegetables, would be cannabis growers.
Absolutely. We do have a strong cannabis movement in the Reno area. In particular, Nevada is coming on board with its own medical marijuana program, and we should be having dispensaries opening up very soon. So it's actually kind of neat. We're one of the only stores in town that has the freedom to carry cannabis-specific products. We have no contracts with our distributors that prohibit us, like some of the other stores, and so it allows us to have flexibility to have things like the magical butter machine, which allows you to extract the essential oils out of the cannabis plant.
Well, this is interesting because this is also universal. It feeds to other herbs as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It can be used with any herb.
Interesting. So, yeah, I can see people wanting to cook with this and serve this on the table side as well.
It's really great for, especially for the people that they're health conscious and they don't necessarily want to smoke the cannabis. This allows them the ability to ingest it orally in the form of a cookie or a brownie or something a little bit easier to swallow.
This looks like a hydroponics toy store.
Indeed it is. What we've got over here, Mitch, we've got all of our air and water pumps, as well as all of our irrigation equipment and tubing and things like that.
Well, tell me about this.
What we have here, this is a seed and propagation tray. It can also be used for taking your favorite clones. If you have a mother plant and you want to just take cuttings off of it, this will do great for keeping in the moisture and help for those cuttings until they start to develop roots.
And so you don't have to wait for a plant to go to seed in order to reproduce it?
Not at all. You can just cut a branch right off of it, stick it in the plug, give it a little nutrient solution and put the dome on it, and after a week or two that plant will actually develop roots right into these cubes, and then you can take it and transplant it either into your soil or into your hydroponic system. And
then it looks like you have some pest control.
Yeah, we got a full rack of different pesticides and different pest controls, everything from spider mites to powdery mildew, aphids. If you've got bugs, we've got the stuff to take care of that for you.
And looks like you have all of the test kits.
Yep, we got all of our pH, we have pH testers, we got TDS testers, pH up and down, all the accessories to go with your hydroponic system and the nutrients.
And then a plethora of nutrients for both organic and hydroponics.
Absolutely.
And this looks complicated.
Well, you know, actually, Mitch, it's really not so bad. I know that it seems like there's a lot, but that's what we're here for. My mom and I, you know, we love to help people, regardless of what type of plants you're growing or what type of system you're using. We just love to help people succeed in their growing, and that's what we're here for. So come on down and see us. We'd be happy to show you the ropes and help you get started.
Well, Mark, that leads us to sharing with them how they can come meet you and your mom.
Well, Mitch, we're located on 1630 Merchant Street, which is basically right off of Rock and Audie Boulevard, so conveniently located in Sparks by the freeway. You can always visit us on our website, which is battlebornhydroponics.com. Of course, you can call us at 775-432-1945, especially if you have any questions or if you need directions or anything like that. We'd be more than happy to help you get here and help you get started on the right foot.
Well, I don't know about our viewers, but I'm excited to get started and have a garden myself. So thanks for being on our show, and thanks for having me here today.
I'm excited for you, Mitch. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
For more information on this guest or to see this show in its entirety, visit nvbusinesschronicles.com.